Good day, everyone, and welcome to Sparkles of Love's Transmissions. My name is Ana-La-Rai, and Sparkles of Love is the premier resource for spiritual individuals who want the fastest and smoothest path to your own awakening or to spiritual mastery. Our methods, tools, and processes come directly from Source, and they're new, evolved, and unlike anything else. So today's topic is going to be what happens or why do I plateau on my spiritual journey? And our format is I'm going to do a little bit of channeling, a little bit of chatting. I will answer questions for you. So you can just type in your questions. And then we're going to do a download, and today I think our download is going to be the vibrations of peace. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So how many of you have ever plateaued, or another word would be to say to get stuck on your spiritual journey, on your path, on your development? How many have that? Anybody else besides me? How many of you that has happened to? And I think that we we can plateau in many parts of our lives, but spiritual journey is what we're going to talk about today. Yeah, me too. I think most of us at one point or another hit a plateau, and or we get stuck, and it's kind of like, what do you do then? You get stuck, and the easiest thing is to quit. That's the easiest thing, because that's what comes up, right? I'm done. I've had enough. I've done all this work and I feel like I haven't gotten any further, and you want to quit. And that's always an option, right? It's free will, it's free choice. You can do that if that's what you want. But it just means you're reaching another point, right? Because if you're plateauing, if you're doing the work and you're plateauing or getting stuck, it's because you're going deeper. You're finding more than you found before. So, in some ways, when you look at it, it's a good thing. Now, if you're stuck all the time, it might be because you're not actually doing the work, right? Or you're not really listening or looking. Okay. But often it means you're going to another level of awakening, another level of understanding, or another depth within your soul journey. And what's important is um, you want to make sure that your resistance isn't the same as being stuck, because we also all fall into the category where we get resistance. Sometimes we're like, I'm needing a break. I you know I'm I'm resistant to it. I'm just, I feel like I should be further along on my path. Sorry, it's really kind of cute that we have our neighbor has a little really colorful parakeet, and she's flying back and forth here right now, and keep seeing her out of the corner of my eye. So when you move into resistance, again, it can be because you've plateaued, or you might just be needing a break, right? Or you're bumping up against something you don't want to look at, right? What is it? You want to go deeper, because resistance can stall us as well. Hitting a plateau, being stuck, being resistant, those are all ways that we can get stalled or plateaued on our journey. And I think that what we also need to be really aware of is that sometimes it's okay to pause. It's always okay to pause. But sometimes we need a pause because we need to integrate, right? If you've been doing a lot of deep work, sometimes you need a few weeks, a few months to give yourself that break, to let the energies integrate, to let the changes integrate, right? And then you can start again fresh. So it's important to be able to discern the difference between, am I in resistance to continuing, or do I really need to integrate? And I think that's something really you need to be able to feel in your body. I know for me, integration feels different than resistance. And when I need to integrate, I usually feel just more probably for me, more physically tired. All these things have happened. I always need to integrate after the alchemy's gatherings that are a week long, I always need to integrate after a big change, right? A big energetic change. And integration is a really good thing to do for yourself, to have quiet time. Maybe you're not clearing as much, or you're not doing your spiritual practice in the same intensity or as often. Maybe you just allow yourself some more free time, or time to do hobbies and things that you love, to get out in nature, to go for hikes, to go boating, to paint, to draw, to journal, whatever it is. So integration is a key part of our spiritual process and of our journey, to allow us to realign, and all of our systems to realign to the new, the new energies. And it feels like right now in 2024, we're in this constant state of integration and align, because the energies are changing so quickly. But that's another story. So how do you know when you've plateaued, or what do you do? If you're feeling stuck, you're going in to possibly do some clearing or some inner work, and nothing new is coming up, right? You ask for help, or let's say you're working on grief or lack of self-love. And every time you go in, it's kind of blank, or you just get a little bit of stuff. So you're probably plateauing, right? So you're either in the resistance to looking at what's coming up, or you're sort of hitting a plateau, right? And give yourself a break. Don't be hard on yourself, right? It happens to all of us. It's kind of a natural process in our evolution and in our growing. When you think about when you're learning any new skill, when you're learning anything, let's say you're learning to play the piano, you reach in any skill level, you plateau, and then you break through and you learn some more. You get a new teacher possibly, or you start trying something more difficult. And it's the same thing here in our spiritual journey or our awakening. So when you hit a plateau, it doesn't feel very good, right? It's like, what's going on? It's you probably, it's tied in with some resistance. You're getting frustrated with yourself or your practice, maybe people around you, because it just doesn't seem to be working. Maybe your tools aren't working the same way, or your processes aren't working the same. And so now you've hit this plateau. You're kind of stuck. What do you do? So what do you do normally when you're stuck? What do you do? Or what have you done in the past? And like I said, you can always quit, but most of us don't want to do that. Or we might for a day or two, or maybe even a week. Okay, so Monica says she meditates. Okay, that's great. You might just go into the meditation. You may ask some questions, maybe you don't, but you still allow the energies to flow. Yeah. So when you hit that kind of plateau, or that feeling stuck, give yourself a little bit of a break, right? Maybe you just need to integrate a few days. And Paula's saying, sit with myself and look deeper. Yeah. So for some of us, it is impossible to quit. I know that other people do quit. I've watched other people quit when they hit certain levels or certain amounts of resistance, and they say, "I'm done. I'm happy with my life. This is enough," and that's okay. Everybody makes the choice that's best for them, right? But if you're really finding that you've given time for integration, you've sat and you've looked at it, and you're still feeling stuck or plateau, it's probably time to reach out and have a session with someone. It's probably time to have someone help you look deeper, right? Because we all reach stages where we can't see what's going on. We're not the best at looking at our own stuff. That's just the way it's designed. Um, so sometimes it's great to have a session, to book a session, whether you book a session with me or someone else you work with, that can go in intuitively, talk to the guides, talk to your highest self, maybe access your Akashic records, and feel through you what's happening. Where's the block? Where what are you not seeing? What are you resisting? Or what wants to come up next that you don't want to look at, right? What wants to come up next? And I'll be honest, going deeper can be really challenging. You got to feel stuff and you got to look at things you haven't wanted to look at. And you've got to often delve into fears. And you might be looking at past lives. You might be looking at things that you said or did in this lifetime that you didn't want to remember or you don't want to take responsibility for. So there's so many things, or just simply things that were really painful memories from this and other times and spaces. So going deeper isn't always, it's rarely easy. In fact, it's almost never easy, but it takes us to a new level, right? And once you start facing those fears, more information comes forward and more energy comes forward and you feel lighter and you feel better. So there's a process with it that leads you to a better place, right? Because, if I use a really simple one, let's say you have deep fears around being loved, which many, many on planet Earth do. There's lots of wounding around love because we perceive love often as romantic love, and divine love is very, very different from that. And if you are having fears around love, what are your relationships like? What are your friendships like? The relationships with your spouse or your kids or your parents, maybe even your colleagues. So when you have that fear of love, you act and respond and react in ways based on that energy and that fear. So when you can eventually clear that and shift it, or even half of it or most of it, how you are in the world changes. And your responses, your reactions, how you interact is all very different, helping your life be better. All right, let's see. A few people said, personally, I found it important to have time for oneself, relaxing, doing nothing, maybe sitting somewhere, having a coffee, just sitting and feeling, nothing else, breathing and allowing. I think that's fabulous. And I think that many of us don't allow for that. We don't make time for that. And in our busy world, it feels like go, go, go. You've got to be doing something useful and you've got to be, do this, do that, But the sitting and allowing, and whether you're meditating or not meditating, or maybe you're sitting at a coffee shop and watching people go by and observing the world, all of those things allow for more energy and more to come forward. We're not meant to be busy 24/7, right? That's come with the modern world. So I think that's a great thing to do. And another, I agree, get help from whom you trust implicitly. Yeah. It's a financial thing for me. I agree, Paula. And very true to what's Ulrich saying. Yeah, and sometimes it is. And there's all kinds of different healers out there in different ways. And, um, you know, always sitting with yourself in meditation and with your guides and your highest self is always, always a good thing to do. You know, it's always a good thing to do. And, sometimes maybe you have friends that can give you insight. Maybe they're not as intuitive, but it's amazing what our family and friends see in us and in our actions and interactions. So sometimes even asking them, hey, what do you see? Do you see that I'm ignoring anything? Or do you see that I'm behaving in a way that looks like I'm afraid of something? Have you ever noticed anything? And if you ask people, honestly, people close in your circle, I'm sure they will give you some tidbits that might help you go deeper and go down into another level of where you're at. So one of the things Let me just get ready here. One of the things that is so important is when you hit a plateau, it's kind of it's not the end. It's kind of like a new beginning, right? It means you're moving into another layer. And that's a good thing. And always allow yourself the time, the time to integrate what you've already changed and what you've learned, right? What you've grown from. Because if you look back, I sometimes go back and look at my journals. I started, when I started my journey, I wrote journals. And even though I didn't do them all the time, sometimes I'll pull them out and go back and go, oh my gosh, look at how much I've changed. Look at how far I've come. And that some days when you're having a challenge can be um, really supportive because you're not who you were 5 years ago or 10 years ago or even 3 months ago right now. So much is changing so fast. So be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself time to integrate and then go deeper. All right. Know that the plateaus are okay. And if you need help, reach out. Okay. All right. So I want to do a little bit of a download of the vibration of peace. I thought I would do 10 minutes because I know it's a really lovely one. And some people find peace boring, and I don't at all. The more that you awaken, I think that peace becomes more and more important to you. And it becomes more and more of your daily practice because you're less triggered and you want to be in that expanded state of consciousness, right? All right, so I will have my eyes open and closed at various times. I'm going to put my timer on as I always do, and I am going to do a download for 10 minutes. Okay. Each time you listen to this video, you'll receive the energies. Of course, you shouldn't be driving or doing anything like that. Okay. And just to receive. Yeah. Monica's saying journaling is really helpful. Yeah, it is for many people. Some people resist it and don't want to do it. That's okay. I find it helpful at times as well. Okay, so just close your eyes and just feel as you're getting, let's get connected to the light and just see, feel, or sense as we bring in first that pure source light. And if you feel energy is great. If you don't, that's okay too. You're still receiving. Okay. So whether or not you're conscious or aware of it, it is coming into your energetic field and your physical body and your aura. And it's going to come down through your crown chakra right up here and down through your chakra system and through your body. And it just flows. So I'm going to start now. We'll do about 9-10 minutes. And just feel now as I call forth on the vibration of peace. And those of you that have the 33 codes of origin, you know peace is a code. So you might want to call on the activation of the code of peace as well if you have the 33 codes, if you've done that program. But everybody can receive. So just feel as that vibration of peace enters the top of your head. And it swirls around your brain and to your third eye. And it saturates the amygdala in the center of the brain. It's one of our primal places, right? And it moves to the left and right hemispheres and to both your eyes and your ears and your nostrils, your gums and your teeth, and your jawline. And that vibration of peace continues to flow down and down your neck and your throat chakra and across your shoulders and down your arms. And you don't have to direct it. It just comes naturally. It flows to all the parts of your body. Just allow yourself to relax, and the peace flows down past your elbows and your wrists and into your fingertips. And it flows down your spine, your central column of love and light, and into your chest and lungs and your higher heart chakra, and into your physical heart and your heart chakra. And it flows down into the solar plexus chakra and into all the organs in your body. And this vibration of peace flows into your nervous system and your digestive system, into your reproductive system, and all of the body systems and organs, flows into your bloodstream and your muscles and the fascia. Just receive this peace as it continues to flow down to the sacral and the root chakra and down your legs. Just allow this peace to flow down past your knees, down your calves and to your ankles, and into your feet. And the peace keeps flowing into, and it fills the auric egg around you, that energy field around your body. Your skin and the hair follicles fill with peace. And let me know if you're feeling more relaxed and more peaceful. We still have about another minute of download. This can be great to do before bedtime as well. Beautiful. All right. Well, I see some of you are feeling more relaxed and peaceful. I am too. Oh. So I just wanted to share with you also about an up and coming workshop that you might find really beneficial. And if you're listening to this after the September date, it will be available in our shop as a recording. So I do 1 day workshops 4 times a year. The guides have asked me to do this because when we do a whole day, we can get more in than a 1 hour session for advanced opportunity full moon. So the session on September 14th is going to be called, and it's all about creating an energetic, safe space for you. So I don't know really any more than that. They don't usually even give me the title. But what we're going to do is some sort of process, I'm assuming, throughout the day. It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time and goes to about 3 Pacific time. And there are recordings that you'll get the same day. And we're going to be creating some sort of energetic safe space for you. And I can't really tell you more. We've never done anything like this, so it's kind of exciting. So that's the 1 day workshop, Moving into Your Ascension. It's available on my website, sparklesoflove.love. So you can find it under register if it's before September 14th. And if you're looking for the recording after, it will be in the shop. And the other thing I wanted to share with you, if you haven't done my Accelerated Awakening quiz, it's on the front page of my website. And what I realize is in setting up this quiz and helping people with it is that I have found primarily 4 ways we walk our path, no matter which type of path you follow. And the deep divers, the intuitive feelers, the spiritual adventurers, and the planetary healers. And what I find is that with Sparkles of Love, that I seem to find a lot of clients who have plateaued. And that's what they come to me for. And so doing the quiz first sort of helps you see where are you in how you walk your path. And then it helps so we can start to suggest things to help you get out of the funk, get out of the off the plateau and move forward on your spiritual journey. Um, oh, I love that. Monica says she melted. Okay, good. I love to use my little Lemurian cloak. So the safe space sounds amazing. Yeah. The Lemurian cloak is a great one. It's from November 2023. I use it every time I step outside the house. It's a 1 hour session and you create an energetic cloak with the Lemurian Light Council. And every time you go out, it buffers all the energy of everybody else out there. Now, if you're a strong empath or you're triggered by someone outside, it doesn't end it, but it buffers the amount that you get. So it's really, really helpful. And that's the Lemurian Light Cloak, and that's available in the shop. All right. Well, today's an exciting day for Christian and I. We are heading north on Vancouver Island to go to my favorite place and my favorite activity, which is whale watching. So we're going to spend the next couple of days looking for orcas and humpback whales and Pacific white-sided dolphins and seeing eagles and maybe bears and stellar sea lions and all kinds of other birds and wildlife. So I'm going to end now with I hope that you all in Canada and the US have a lovely long weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you next Thursday. I'm Ana-La-Rai with Sparkles of Love. Bye for now.